Hello Suits fans and welcome to Common of Heroes Gamecast. I'll be your host KG, and I know I did not come out with a shoutcast this weekend, but I had a lot of stuff to do. I had some work that I had to take to home, so there you go. That's the reason this weekend did not include a shoutcast by me, but I found some time out of the blue in the mid of the week, and of course I devoted right away into my favorite game, or at least one of my favorite games, and this of course is Company of Heroes. So today's game will be a 2.601 game on Semois, and with that of course I will be saying my own farewell to 2.601, since I won't be casting any more games from that patch. The beta is at its final iteration and will be going retail anytime now, so we'll have a new game to cast on. With that being said, we are paused at the 5-second mark and we'll be unpausing in 3, 2, 1, go. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the players of this match are: in the north of Semois, playing as the Wehrmacht, player TimothyMatlack, and in the south of the same map is SiTExtremix, playing as the US. A bit of a background for this player. SiTExtremix, I'm not sure if it's his main account or not, but he's a very solid player. He's level 16 with both US, Ver and PE, and he has a very good win-to-loss ratio and a good number of games under his belt, so he most probably is very well experienced in the ways of this game. On the other hand, TimothyMatlack is an old-timer for Company of Heroes, has not been around for a while, either because he had not been playing or because he was under the radar playing as some smurf that nobody knew. Case still stands, TimothyMatlack's playstyle back in the old days, because I had the opportunity to play him a couple of times, is a strong very early game with an emphasis on defensive structures and infantry play that he uses mainly to fend off the flanks, and if he manages to do so, he usually takes up to tier 4 and gets some tanks, and from that point onwards he kind of expands around the map. He's more aggressive and all that good stuff, which is not actually a trademark of him, but since that tactic may be employed by other players as well, but he is actually, back in the days, used to do that quite a lot, and with good success. So let's see if this is gonna be the case once again. Capping order, nothing out of the ordinary. Both players forego the medium munition point to the east of their bases, actually to the west of the north base, but that stands to reason. Units out by the players are of course a couple of rifleman squads, nothing extreme there, by SiTExtremix. Did you get the pun? I hope not. Although SiTExtremix actually moves in towards the northmost medium fuel point of the Wehrmacht player and will try to harass him, something which is going to be successful. And TimothyMatlack forgoes actually repositioning his MG42 in favoring of moving it towards the center of the map. Engineers getting suppressed and having to retreat by that bridge near the east portion of the map. Of course, something that has been fixed in the beta. Engineers are not getting suppressed that easily as they do in the retail as of now, so that's something American players are going to be looking forward to. The third squad out by the Wehrmacht quarters is of course Volksgrenadier squads that are now responding to the harassment of the engineers to the north. However, the engineers did their job, decapped and capped for themselves the fuel there, and an engagement in the center of the map finds an MG42 bit out of position. However, it promptly refaces them, and those riflemen do have to retreat. No big losses for that rifleman squad, although quite a health health damage on the MG42 that needs to be a bit more careful, since that low health can be actually devastating in a future engagement. A squad of riflemen in the north fending off some folks. That harassment by the Wehrmacht player there seems to be strong for the time being. Pioneers capping under fire of riflemen near the center of the map, promptly retreat. Excuse me. So I would say retreats by both players are spot on for these early moments of the game. No huge losses, no unnecessary losses. And this will most probably be the first flank coming up by the American player, and the Wehrmacht player does not even think about repositioning his MG42. He does realize that its health is quite low, and in fact actually retreats it and backs off with his Volksgrenadiers, which of course will stay behind green cover at medium range and will take on those riflemen. Third rifleman squad closing in near the center of the map. Some pioneers will of course have to retreat, and this full squad is going to be flanked unless those two folks coming from the Wehrmacht base are going to support it, but they are kind of late, so even one more retreat for the Wehrmacht player not going to be that bad anyway. American player has dominant control of the map. Wehrmacht player did have to struggle with the early low fuel income. Now he finally tries to get back his medium fuel point right outside of his base. A grenade, while I was talking, went off right near the strategic sector outside the Wehrmacht player's base. Killed a couple of folks, but no squad losses. And now we finally have a composition by the Wehrmacht player that is actually quite solid. 3 folks and 2 MG42s are gonna be more than enough to fend off any flanks by the American player, provided of course they have been positioned properly and are microed correctly, should that flank actually go into effect. Now this is a grenade range for that MG42, and that MG42 loses 2 members. American player seems to be favoring heavy infantry upgrades. He even gets bars after getting grenades first. That MG42 is getting decrewed. Another grenade by those riflemen will actually force a retreat on the folks. The MG42 lies there, but it's gonna probably go into the hands of the Wehrmacht player rather soon, unless the 6-man rifleman squad that has come to support the 3-man Vet-1 rifleman squad actually captures the weapon. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. We have a bunker by the Wehrmacht player, which most probably is going to be upgraded to a medic bunker, and right here we see that the American player is going to capture the decrewed MG42 and is probably going to retreat with it immediately, since those folks are going to be focusing it down. However, he does not seem to be doing so. He is taking heavy losses. Now he actually manages to retreat. Full retreat by the American player. A loss of an MG42 by the Wehrmacht player is kind of a problematic whenever that happens for him, for whoever plays Wehrmacht. But in this map, I would say MG42s can be kind of strong, but they can also be kind of not so useful because of the large portions of the map not having line of sight from a lot of those buildings. But we'll see how it turns out for the American player. We are currently at the 8-minute 22, 23, 24, 25 second mark, and American players' army composition is 4 rifleman squads, 1 stolen MG42, and 2 engineer squads with no upgrades whatsoever. And on the Wehrmacht side, we have 3 full squad, 1 MG42 in a med bunker, 2 pioneers, and a sniper. Now the sniper choice is kind of interesting, because not only it's going to be causing a manpower drain on the rifleman squads, but it's of course a hard counter, if you wish, against the MG42 that was stolen by the American player. However, the sniper does not seem to be focusing the MG42. He took a shot on some riflemen. He will have to force that MG42 out of the church, otherwise the Wehrmacht player is going to be in a bit of a trouble. Now, riflemen advancing in green cover, they are not suppressed yet. Riflemen taking shots on riflemen still. Kind of repositioning of the German army back near the med bunker. The Wehrmacht player has to be careful of grenades being thrown, however. And there is one. Let's see the casualties. 5 men, all Volksgrenadiers, going down to a grenade, and Vet2 for the rifleman squad that is actually retreating. Focus fire of the medics by the American player actually manages to kill one, so, or not. No, it actually managed to kill one, so no. It's gonna slow down the actual rate at which grenadiers may be popping out of that main bunker, although we have the first grenadier squad out rather soon. And while all this was happening, the riflemen harassing the north portion of the map, laying down mines, of course, an indication that the American player has gone for an infantry company. Riflemen from the east trying to hunt down the sniper or trying to advance near that particular area are not going to be that lucky, or will they be that lucky? No, they're not, and they're going down. One squad of riflemen going down for the Wehrmacht player, for the American player, not good at all, I would say. Couple of flamer pioneers in the north portion of the map trying to fight off barred riflemen. Not so sure if it will work, because they were both on low health, and one of them actually retreats through the mine. However, the squad is still alive, and the mine is diffused, or actually blown up. The case still stands, that mine did not actually pay off. However, the squad of riflemen is still around, so the flamers did not pay off as well. Kind of a heavy infantry play, as it seems, by the Wehrmacht player. Should we see some veterancy for it rather soon? Have to wait and see. That MG42 that was stolen by the American player actually has to retreat under the fire of all the snipers and the American infantry. However, we have a counter sniper out by the American player. He's probably going to stay a little bit more around, even if he was suppressed by the fire of the MG42, and will most probably be used for a counter snipe. We even have for the fatherland being used on the Wehrmacht forces, so that is of course is indicative of the doctrine of the Wehrmacht player, which is defensive. So we have a defensive versus infantry, kind of a standard doctrine choices for this matchup at this particular iteration of the game, and the American sniper foolishly stays around for a bit more and actually goes down to the fire of the Wehrmacht infantry, where of course being laid down by the Wehrmacht player is gonna actually limit the vectors of flanking for the American player, although the American player already has grenades, so he is able to throw them even if that wire was not there. We actually see a grenade there by a Vet2 rifleman squad, actually destroys the whole squad. The MG42 goes down, so that weapon of course is not recruitable, and should the Wehrmacht player need some more suppression fire, he will have to replace the loss of the MG42. While all this was happening back in the Wehrmacht base, we have a Krieg barracks going up. MG42 by the American player is in range of fire of the Wehrmacht